Yes, good morning everyone.
Good morning.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me very well? So, all of us are beginners. How many are beginners? All of us. Everyone is a beginner. So, we're going to do this in two ways. We're going to cater for those who are doing it on your computer to install WordPress on your PCs, and those who can do it online. So we shall begin with a session that will show you how to install WordPress online. You have to be very attentive because you can do it once you follow what I'm saying. You'll be able to do it online. You won't have to install it on your computer. You will start online and you will collaborate with whoever you're collaborating with. So, a little bit about myself. My name is Shafiq, Lutaaya. I run a web design agency with my colleague Rafael. Rafael, could you stand up a bit? Yes, so we run this agency, it's a web design agency, as you see. So when you learn how to do this, you should be able to make money using WordPress by building websites, as many speakers have indicated here. Yeah. My colleague Lawrence will finalize with the process, but I'll take you through. Within 15 minutes we should be done. Yeah. So as you might know, or as has been indicated, WordPress is the most popular platform. And if you're starting out a career in WordPress, you should actually be happy that you're here today to learn how the process is done. Many of the speakers you've seen today were actually beginners like you, 4 to 3, 5 years ago, and they've been able to create a career out of WordPress. So after here you can book about it. So Softaculous is a tool that is used to install any web application, basically PHP applications. Those of you who are programmers, who are starting, you might be knowing about PHP. So what Softaculous does is you use it to install PHP applications. If you want to do a blog, whether you want to do a simple forum, whether you want to do a wiki. Softaculous is spelling is here. What's the spelling of Softaculous? So you should be able to look about it, and you'll be able to get started. So let's proceed. So those of you who do surveys, some of you do surveys in online surveys, so it still has that software that you can use to install that. But our focus here is WordPress. So let's move forward. Softaculous is what we're going to use today. So have that in mind. I would like to request those who can't hear very well there is some space here, you can move this side. If you can't hear very well, I'll try to increase my volume.
I don't hear very well. Just do the same. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, so let's proceed. So as I said, you made the right choice to start developing on top of WordPress, because actually it covers more than 40% of all internet systems right now. And of all systems using a content management system like WordPress is, 65% of those are running WordPress. So that shows you the power that WordPress has. It powers most of the websites you see on the internet. So today you'll be able to develop your own website, your own business website, and get clients to develop websites for you. So by the end of this, you should be able to follow the steps that I will have taken to take you through the installation process. Yeah? So when you go to the WordPress Showcase website, you'll see the popular sites that are using WordPress. So once you get this, you'll be able to do similar things. Yeah. So the things you need to install WordPress online, you'll need a domain name. Everyone has been talking about a domain name. There are many domain registrars here, including myself. Rogers is here. Anyone wants a domain, you can approach us. We shall register domains for you. Then you need web hosting, which still we can provide. Rogers has a platform that does that. Then you will install WordPress after acquiring those on the hosting platform. Yeah. So you'll be able to develop online, and if you have a team of, let me say, 3 people you're developing this site with, you can collaborate with them and have the site done in record time. Of course, then you have to maintain the site continuously. So you need to know that you're going to have a domain name or a subdomain and web hosting. Yeah, to get started. So before you get these, you might not be able to proceed. But for this session, I've got a subdomain that we're going to use in the demonstration and the installation process. So let's begin. So as I say, someone else is going to show us the localhost bit of it. Localhost is your PC. So we're going to install Softaculous online, but there are other ways, as you can see. Those of you who run Windows, you use WAP. Those of you who run Mac, you can use something called Zend. So you download that software and install it in your computer, but that's a session for someone else. Then you can install WordPress through some other method called file transfer protocol. Does anyone know file transfer protocol? FTP. Okay, but that's not for today still. But our focus is on number 1. Yeah. So we're going to start on the next slide. So once you acquire your web hosting and your domain name, your web host will give you something called a control panel. So in that control panel, as you're going to see, there are many tools that you can use to manage your website, like the email, the files, and so forth. And Softaculous is one of those apps. So in your control panel, you look for something called Softaculous, which has various apps. So from there, that's where you select WordPress, as you see, WordPress down there. Yeah. Then the steps are easy to follow, and they are very similar to the other steps of installing WordPress. You get it? So as I said, these are the things you must have before you start. Yeah? And I say, if you do not know how to get a domain, the experts here will show us how to get a domain and get you one. And you must have a control panel, and you must have the cPanel password, username and password, as you see. And this process is entirely online, so you must have an internet connection that works. So without any of these, you will not proceed. Yeah? So we're going to proceed. So these are the steps that you're going to follow to install WordPress on your control panel. And the steps are just straightforward, 6 steps as you see. So once we log in, we're going to log in and we look for the Softaculous Apps installer. Now when we get that apps installer, WordPress we shall click on WordPress, as I say, then we initiate the installation process. Now when we start that WordPress, they'll ask you for a domain name. That's why I said you must have a domain name before. So we shall input our domain name, we fill in the necessary details, which are the administration details for logging in, like the username and password, which we'll use later to edit your website. Then you will click the installation button, and that will be it. In about 2 minutes, you should be able to start editing your website, log into your dashboard, and so forth. So, when you open Softaculous, this is what you'll see in your control panel, which has been given to you by your web host. Yeah? Then you look for WordPress, which is the first icon usually. And when you tap on it, it will bring that to install Word. So you click on install, and it will bring this other page describing what WordPress is, and the install button down here. So you just click install.
Let us focus more on the presentation. The slides are going to be made available. Yes, so you don't need to keep taking photos of every page. The slides are going to be made available at PHP.
Great, thank you. So As I said, they will ask you for a domain name. So you'll input the domain name somewhere down there. Then you click next. When you click next, they'll ask you for the site name. You input your site name. If you're making an online store, you put in the store name and a small description which you can change later. And then the admin credentials, you set them at this point that you'll use to log in to edit your website. The administrator, now we're setting the administrator who can later invite other people to collaborate with them. So you put the admin name and the password that you want, and then email where this email will be the administration email. In case you forget your password, you can use it to recover your password. Yes. Then this tool also helps you to, backups are very important, as we'll see ahead in the next session on security, in case you got a problem with your site. So you might want to back up your site on a weekly or a monthly basis, so that in case you get an issue, you can revert back to the previous version of your site. So this also allows you to select some plugins like a classic editor. Some people no longer use it, but some of us still use the classic editor. Then there is an option for selecting a theme which you can change later. So at this point you can browse among different themes which exist on the platform. Then you can see which one can work for you. You choose one theme. The theme, I think someone talked about themes yesterday. So the theme is the layout of the website. How do you want it to display? So you can still change this later, but this is the installation process. Or you can even skip it. So the last part now is to click the install button down there. When you click install, that will be the last part. And the next part will take us into our dashboard. Now we can edit the website. So when you click install, it will bring this progress bar. It will count from 1 to 100% in about a minute. Then it will do the necessary things in the background to install WordPress. It will install the tables, database tables, and the files that you need to run the WordPress website. And it will also create for you the database that you saw. Then you'll get a congratulations message like this. And it will tell you that your installation is complete. So it will give you two links, an admin link and the website link. So when you click on the first link, it will show you the site with the theme that you selected. Now you can start editing the site. Then the other option is installing WordPress on your local machine, where you need to install XAMPP, as I said, or WAMP. Then you download WordPress and upload it onto that. It's called a web server, but for your local machine. So it turns your computer into a server so that it can read PHP systems. Yeah. So let's do it real quick, practically, and then we shall have someone compliment. So to begin with, as I said, you must have a domain, which I already have. So this is what the control panel looks like. I hope we can see it. No. But to log in, your web host will give you a control panel. So to access your control panel, you put your domain, you add the word /cpanel. So you should be able to log in with your username and your password. So I'm logging in and we do that installation real quick. So this you'll get only after having the web hosting acquired. We shall assist you where you need help. So in the control panel, I look for WordPress. It's there. See that logo there? You click on it. So once you click on it, it's under Softaculous, as you've seen. You wait a bit for it to open the installer. So this is what exactly you saw in the slide. So it's showing the WordPress installation here. So all I have to do is click on this install button.
So this is after you have the domain.
Yeah. So those are prerequisites you must have. So
I think if it was possible, you would explain in simple terms how to get the domain name, because we cannot really
we're going to do that. So as you saw, I've already created the domain here. It's called WordCamp. So I just select it, then I can give it a site name like WordCamp. WordCamp Intelli. Then I create a username for logging in and the password, and leave that password strong enough. Then I put which email I want to be the admin email. And then I select a theme that I would like to use. As I said, the theme is the layout of your site. So it will. Then you click the install button and it starts installing. So within a few seconds, it will finish to 100%. So that means it's creating your database and copying the files necessary for you to run WordPress on the server, and creating your database credentials that you set up. And then after this process, it gives you your admin dashboard so that you can create your site afterwards. Yeah. So when it's done, so let's wait a bit. So they're saying here it can take 3 to 4 minutes, but it usually even takes less. So it's on 70%. So in the background, it's installing all the necessary files and database files that are required for you to run your website. So as you know, any website needs a database. So it's working on the database where your data is stored. And then afterwards, it's loads for your dashboard. So we've reached 96%.
Excuse me. After the installation, we get something like an iPhone app on the list. Like how is it like installing an app? How is it? What you access it after this?
Afterward, if you want to install it, you want to use your domain name. Then you put a slash and what admin, then you go to login. It will give you the login page.
On the internet, on the web.
Yes. And that's the only way to access it. Yeah. As we are, yeah, so it's finished. You see, congratulations, your WordPress is now installed. So, how now do we access our website and we start editing it? Yeah. This software gives you the admin link after installing, but you must know it, you as the developer of your site. So it has written it for us here. You see the word admin URL. So it's just your domain name, then you put a slash WP admin or slash admin, you'll be able to get into your site. So let's go to the admin panel. So we have a small little challenge, but supposed to open our dashboard. So from there, you get this dashboard. You're able to continue building your site. The site looks like So what I've done was the installation process using Softaculous. But now I would like to invite Rogers to complement as in the remaining minutes. Yeah.
Thank you very much.